Welcome to your Witchy Woman message. We are going to be getting into the Witch's Wisdom Oracle cards to see what's going on the eve of the new moon. All right, guys, how are you doing out there? We're going to be tapping in and seeing what messages are coming out for this day. Thank you for joining me. So as we get into this energy, take a nice slow deep breath and let it out when you are ready. And watch your ears. There will be a loud sound. Thank you so much to the witches, angels, ancestors, wayshowers, and guides of the highest white light. We thank you and honor you for this circle of wisdom and protection today. Calling back our power and returning evil eye to sender. Thank you so much for being here. All right, guys, how are you doing? Lots of energies going on out there since we have the Leo not only in the sun but the moon position. So this is actually a very good time to be in that masculine feminine balance as we come to this 0 point energy with the new moon 111 spell and ancestors coming out today. You could be calling in your ancestors asking for their assistance, and excuse me, burping coming up there today. Definitely could be your ancestors coming through. You could have an ancestor who was a witch, in fact, but you are gaining a lot of wisdom with that witch's hat, and I feel like you are using it to your advantage, my dear. So let's see what is coming out today for the collective. Show me what I need to know. What is the most important energy at this time? I feel like many of us are being very quiet, secretive, you know, keeping things close to our chest. That's really what I'm getting from this energy, since it's not speaking very readily. So either you're keeping something close to your chest or somebody else could be. All right, so hopefully you're getting your manifestations in place, getting ready to perhaps write a here we go. Invocation and ritual. You absolutely could be coming into this place where I was going to say you're writing down what you want to release and what you want to bring in. And how interesting that we have masculine and feminine intertwined on this card, again, with that balance coming into place. So are you, in fact, preparing for a ritual that you're going to be performing on the new moon? There are definitely many out there. I would encourage you to look into the ones that you feel most drawn to. Ooh, tarot cards and guidance coming out here today. So some of you may need to get a tarot reading. Of course, I do offer those. If you have an inclination, that information is in the description box. Yeah, and also, guys, don't forget that, you know, during this time, wow, look at this. It's like Christmas in July, Yule with the rebirth. So maybe many of us at this time, and I know that I'm definitely on this trajectory, but coming into this 0 point energy, it's like we're ready to birth that new self, if you will. New relationships, you know, new ways of doing things in general in our lives. 333 partnerships, whether it comes to money, whether it comes to those that we're romantically connected to, whatever the case may be. It's like maybe you're trying to figure out who you need to keep around and who needs to come with you at this time on this journey that you are embarking upon. Because I really do feel that coming out of the winter type of energy, and certainly we should be out of the winter since we are in fact in the summer months, and unless you're in the southern hemisphere, or sorry, the northern hemisphere. Is that right? Am I saying that correctly? In any case, I know that it's, you know, like right now we're in our summertime, and other places are in their winter time right now is kind of more what I'm getting to. But it's that, again, with the winter, summer, it's those poles, the extremes. A lot of things could be being stretched right now to the extreme, you know, and you have no choice but to make a decision in one way or another is kind of what I'm feeling here today. So ritual and invocation. Let's read this card. Let's see if I can. Your desire to connect with the goddesses and gods has been acknowledged. But do you understand the true nature of the desires you are trying to summon? So do you understand perhaps the deities that you're working with at this time, and what it takes to work with those energies? And especially if you're thinking about actually jumping into the energy of a deity, you definitely want to be very careful and know that you understand exactly what you're doing when you're invoking, you know, these energies, these people's, these deities' energies, if you will, even whatever it is you're trying to invoke at this time. Heed the warning that invocation brings forth, for this action is not without danger for the inexperienced. So once again, like I was saying, I've been through mystery schools, and you definitely have to be aware of the unseen realms, what you know and don't know, and more importantly, how to set protection around yourself to help keep your soul, if you will, grounded in your body as you're going through these experiences, if you will. So it says, learn their dislikes. It is vital to know about those you wish to invoke. Learn about their likes and dislikes. That is really important, especially if you're working with particular deities. How many of you out there are doing that at this time, or considering it? Because we're not quite at the new moon energy phase, but it will be coming into play tonight and tomorrow, depending on where you are, you know, as far as the hemispheres go, if you will. All right, so true invocation is to surrender, to be a vessel in order for the deity you have summoned to function within you for a short period. So you have to actually go into this space where you relax, so that the energy of this deity can enter into you, and in a sense you can take on an aspect of it, if you will. That's what this is all about. How many of you know about this, or maybe are thinking about this at this time? Very powerful stuff, so definitely know what you're messing with when you go into this. All right, so this card has been drawn to ensure you that it's a little hard to read, guys, that the love and relationship you have with a particular goddess or god is real and runs through the very essence of who you are, through the mist of time. Are you, as you inspire to be more than your own greatness and to be humble enough to serve, the connection becomes stronger. Wow. And this is very powerful to actually do this. But again, you absolutely want to know what you're dealing with, what you're bringing through that portal. All right. So the Witch's Foresight says, join a coven for ritual work in safety, because again, mystery schools can again give you that framework and help you to know how to approach and learn about these deities and customs of ritual and different things like that, so you know how to put your altar together properly. And again, you know what the likes and dislikes and proper candle colors and all that good stuff, times. You know, there's so much that goes into all of this. You know, each deity even has their particular seasons and whatnot. So there's a lot of aspects that if you're not careful, because I did just see 9/11 on the timer. Again, if you're inexperienced, you could hurt yourself. So do be careful, all right? So your connection with a deity is linked to past lives. Honor the deities in all their forms through prayer, ritual, dance, chants, and offerings. I'm curious, which deities have you been drawn to, or are you drawn to at this time? I'm really curious to know. Remember your protection. Yeah, because I talked about that, right? Again, there is certain steps that you really want to make sure you adhere to, and that's why learning the magical work, you know, how to use that properly, and making sure that you are in a good place to embark upon this work is going to be so important. Dedicate an altar to your favorite deities. So here is the invocation, if you will, for this particular card, the spell. Draw down the moon, goddess descends. Draw down the sun, God, his spirit to lend. Wow, it's talking about the god and the goddess, and how very powerful is this on the Leo sun, Leo new moon. All right, so the dark and the light aspects coming into play with the dark moon and the sun. So very, very powerful for us to be able to call in all the good aspects and help to, you know, use those darker aspects, if you will, in more positive and advantageous ways, not to shun them, but to learn how to integrate them. All right, so again, draw down the moon, goddess descends. Draw down the sun, God, his spirit to lend. And with all now share what must be told. Protection and honor for all involved. This magic is worked with harm to none. So mote it be. There, it is done. That is how you truly invocate, and it's how you speak too. You know, those are all the things that you learn in ritual work and magical work. All of the different aspects of the elements that go into helping to bring your spirit back to life, you know, to get back in touch with yourself and back on your true path again with that rebirth energy, right? So again, you may be needing some guidance in how exactly to do this. And hey, pick your favorite tarot reader and find out what you need to find out. Perhaps what deity would be best for you to work with, if you will. 1212 coming out on the timer. I actually have some goddesses, a deck of cards just with goddesses, and if any of you are interested, I could absolutely do a reading for you on that. Reach out to me at the information in the description box. Also, if this is resonating, guys, hit the like button and leave a comment below. Share this with someone who could use it. And you know, again, if you want to see readings, you don't want to miss out when I go live, that kind of thing, hit the subscribe and bell notification. So we got Lovers and Nine of Swords. Here I feel like it's really about, you know, wanting to be, I feel like not wanting to have to worry any longer, wanting to be sure about perhaps who you are looking to partner with, and this could be that deity that we're talking about, absolutely, with that magician energy coming out here today. This is that marriage, if you will. Lovers, you know, you're bringing through all of those positive parts. You're igniting and it's almost like an awakening within yourself of these aspects of yourself that have lied dormant. You know, again, it was talking about your ancestors here, and more or less getting back in touch with all of that. Two of Wands. I feel like you're going to see that there is a different path that you can go down now. It's like this doorway of information, or it's almost like you're going to perhaps have an opportunity to connect with people in a coven, or there will be an opportunity for you to, you know, connect with a group of people that you feel is going to help you to move along your path. Five of Swords, Two of Wands. Yeah, out of this confusion, you know, to really like start to make sense of what this life is all about and all that, you know, magical energy, if you will, and how does the magical work really go and that kind of thing, right? There is a lot to it, a lot behind it, and there is a lot that they teach you with all of it as well. Six of Swords, you are being asked to take that journey. This is not a journey you will regret. It's absolutely one that will help you to grow, to learn more about yourself, to learn more about these gods and goddesses, essentially, who were, you know, human just like us, many of them, or most of them. They've gone through the same, you know, over time, we've heard all of the stories where people have dealt with all the same things that we deal with in modern times, just under, you know, different guises, as far as different eras and how it looked and that kind of thing. But they dealt with being stabbed in the back, being cheated on, you know, being murdered by their family so that they could get their money and all this stuff, you know, all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, you're putting an end to all of that. All right, the competition, dealing with people in a world, yeah, where it's like you're always having to, it's a dog eat dog world, is what I heard. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you're blocking out anything that threatens your stability, is what I heard. Walking away from it, and unapologetically, as you should, you know. There is nothing in the land of Babel, if you will. Whatever you're leaving behind, you're absolutely going to be rewarded for doing so, as the Queen of Pentacles would state, because that's all about having that abundance in your life, stability. But you definitely having to watch your back as you leave, whatever this is. Oh, well, somebody is definitely wanting to make things better here, or wanting to offer you marriage, something of this nature. Maybe somebody is trying to do some spell work against you, somebody you walked away from, but they want to come back. They want to try to win you back, is what I heard. And maybe, you know, offer marriage to you. You may be feeling like there's a lot of burdens with this, though, you know, that you've got to put in more, or you've got to do more just to be able to, just to be at, you know, par, if you will. But it's kind of like, it's still not like the best case scenario. It's not like what you've always wanted kind of energy, you know? It's like you don't want to hold back any longer from what you feel and know that you deserve. You know, it feels like that you've accepted little for long enough. You know, you had to leave these situations behind, if you will. Absolutely, that were confusing. You're no longer staying in these situations that cause you to question, like, you know, that there's just something off, something hidden. It's like things are harder than they should be, and you never get past a certain point. That's when you know that there's got to be, something's not adding up, if you will. You know, that kind of energy. Something's not adding up, something's not balancing out, right? And so I think this has done nothing but caused burdens for you. It's been nothing but a monkey on your back, if you will. May have even been dealing with someone with addictions. But I see you ready to leave this behind with the Moon in reverse energy and the Eight of Swords in reverse energy. That's absolutely you being able to see clearly what's been going on. And you know exactly what it is that you want. And I feel like you are on the way, 1818, especially with deciding to move past whatever has been holding you down in the past, what has been burdening you down. And definitely it could be a soulmate at the center of it all, if you will, because that's what's coming out with the Six of Cups. Yeah, absolutely. Let me know how this is resonating, guys. We're going to get some messages of advice. I have the Inner F and Peace message cards. We're also going to get some Lovers Oracle cards. I will flip my divination coin at the very end, so do stick around for all of that. Let's get some messages of advice for what you're walking away from, leaving behind, not dealing with anymore BS. All right, who has time for that? Busy transcending what? BS. Bullshit. That's right. Pick one thing beyond your control and let it go. Poof. Just like that. again, you know, you're balancing things out, even if other people, I feel like, don't give you that opportunity to have closure. You know, maybe somebody here didn't give you opportunity to have closure. You just had to save yourself kind of energy. And now it almost feels like somebody wants to come back and you have 0 fucks to give and you're cute as hell. And this person may be as well, but what I, you know, hear more than anything with this is like, even if they are hard on the eyes or nice on the eyes or however they say, you know what I mean? Still, it's not worth it. All the other BS, if you will, that comes with it is what I was hearing. So 0 fucks given, because I feel like you've given way too much of a fuck in the past, and it's gotten you nowhere, basically. All right. It's always been this reciprocity. You've always been, you know, you get less than what you put in. You know, it feels like you have to put way more in just to kind of keep things at an even keel, if you will. And I feel like, you know, you're just tired of trying to figure out why things aren't adding up here. Passion, woo. Look at this. A magnetic and seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. Well, how are you enjoying that? Do you enjoy responsibly is what I was going to say. Okay, so, well, these cards came out recently as well. Very interesting. So beware of what you are projecting. For the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess, and equally so, the qualities you don't like, they're also your own reflection. So we have to figure out, you know, why is it perhaps we feel so drawn to this particular person or dynamic, if you will, a type of relationship, you know, one where kind of like maybe the bad boy. So we got the reflection card coming out today. All right, with all of this, and it says, give each other some space at the moment, because maybe, you know, you guys get a little too hot and heavy when you're around each other, and trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. All right, so sometimes you do have to kind of like give space in a situation so you can just kind of see, you know, like, if I'm not constantly in somebody's face, are they still, you know, digging me? Are they still checking for me? That kind of thing. Or is it 0 fucks given? You know, can this person just kind of leave for periods of time, and then it's almost like they just kind of out of nowhere, you know, like a magician pop up and that kind of thing. Oh, here I am. Let me save the day. All right, guys, let's get an answer to your question in 3, 2, and 1. The answer I'm getting today is yes. I love it. All right, guys. Well, tomorrow, as you know, it is the super blue moon, and we are in the middle of Mercury and Venus retrograde. So guess what? Tomorrow is a blue new moon. No, blue. Oh, it isn't the super moon tomorrow. It's the new moon. So tomorrow we're going to be doing the new moon love tea reading. It's going to be very interesting, because I feel because it's the dark moon and it's Leo, whoa. It's going to be very interesting to see what comes out. All right, guys, hope to see you there. In the meantime, love you and bye for now.